Hi, everybody. Matt Bernier taking a look at the third race at Santa Anita on Sunday afternoon. That would be February the 25th. A stakes race, a restricted stakes race. It is the Spring Fever Handicap. Before we take a look at the field, I'd encourage you to head on over to DRF Bets. Up to a $200 free bet is yours, waiting for you. Head on over to drf.com/join. Use the promo code FreeBet09. Let's take a look at this relatively short field. For the third race on Sunday, the Spring Fever Handicap, you're going to have a pretty heavy favorite in here, I would imagine, in the number one Majestic Heat. Majestic Heat for Richard Mandela is a mare that is turning back in distance coming out of that Grade 2 Santa Maria, where she is the highest last out buyer in the field with a 92, but the problem therein lies her recent form, the past two races anyway, they haven't been all that good. Now, you're going to have to hope that maybe she's going to wake up in a big way, getting away from the likes of Unique Bella and even Mopatism, who has turned into a nice mare in her own right. But there's just a part of me that, based on the way this race could look from a race shape standpoint, knowing that she's going to be turning back in distance, there's a real scenario where she gets outrun early, and this is a good segue into the Timeform US Pace Projector. And you can see the Pace Projector is color-coded blue, suggesting that horses on or near the early lead are going to be at an advantage. That would put the number 3 horse, that's Miss Sunset, who we'll get to momentarily, in a very advantageous position, and conversely put a horse like Majestic Heat in a bit of a pinch at this point, where Flavian Pratt's going to probably have to use her a little bit more early on than maybe he would like. The number 2 is Shy Carmelita for Phil D'Amato. This is a nice mare. She's 3 of 12 lifetime, 7 times in the money out of those 12 lifetime starts. The problem is on paper, she's just a little bit slow, and also she's coming off of a pretty significant layoff. We haven't seen her since Del Mar. That was back in July of 2017. She was going 5/8 of a mile on the turf. Now we've got this long layoff. If she's going to come back in any sort of a stakes race, this is probably the place to do it. At the same time, I look at her and say, you know what? Maybe we're going to need to wait and see what we get off this long layoff as a 5-year-old mare. The number 3 is Miss Sunset for Jeff Bondi. We've got a positive formulator fact for Jeff Bondi that we can throw up there. Past 5 years, turf to dirt, sprint races, 8 for 41, 24 of them in the money with a 204 ROI, so you've got a positive expectation anyway at this point, just specifically for this move. You get Mike Smith aboard Miss Sunset. She was a graded stakes winner 3 starts back. That was against a restricted 3-year-old company in the Raven Run down at Keeneland. She comes back into La Brea. She's no match for the likes of Unique Bella and Paradise Woods. And then they tried to put her back on the turf, which she had done in the past successfully, to no avail. It didn't work. She ran into How About Zero and Barbara Beatrice, a couple of nice fillies and mares at that point. I think getting back to this 6 furlong distance on the dirt is going to be beneficial. That Timeform US Pace Projector is certainly something that, if you're a fan of this horse or you like this horse, you've got to be licking your chops looking at that, because she has legitimate early speed, and if she's allowed to get out there and dictate things all on her own with no real pressure, she could be very, very dangerous in here. That's Mike Smith's runner, Miss Sunset, trained by Jeff Bondi. The number 4, Cuddle Alert for Reed Saldana, I think is a nice mare. She shows up, she runs her race, she's 7 to 32 lifetime. She's probably not naturally as talented as the likes of a Majestic Heat or a Miss Sunset, but you know you're going to get an honest effort out of her. I would imagine the idea is to take her off the pace, try to make one run, and hope that she can get a piece here, if not outright win this thing. And the number 5, Bad Juju for John Sadler. It's going to be kind of a wait-and-see approach, because she is cross-centered in a race on Saturday at Santa Anita. This is the first start off of the claim for John Sadler. This horse used to be with Peter Miller for Rockingham Ranch, now goes out for Honest Racing. She's okay. She's run some races on her page anyway that would make her competitive in here. She has a couple of buyers north of 87 that I think is probably pretty darn close to a bare minimum of what it'll take to win. But she usually lives in that mid-80 range, 83, 84, 85, and I'm not sure that that's quite fast enough to get the job done. Personally, I think she would be better suited if she were to run on Saturday, but at the same time, how many opportunities do you get to run in a stakes race that there's only a 5-horse field? We'll find out how things shake down. My pick in this race, though, I'm not going to get cute. I think that pace projector is spot on. I understand Majestic Heat. She's the class of the field. But to me, Miss Sunset, this is what she wants to do. 6 furlongs on the dirt. There's no other real big speed in here. I think she breaks. Smith puts her on the front end and says, come and catch me. For me, it's as simple as a 3-1 exacta here in the third at Santa Anita on Sunday, the Spring Fever. I like Miss Sunset. If you're playing at home, again, DRF Bets is the way to do it. $200 free bet. No deposit is required. No deposit whatsoever. You get the $200 free bet. Head on over to drf.com/join. The promo code is FreeBet09. Good luck if you play the Spring Fever on Sunday.